Final.
There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Final. Final. System play.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show for Saturday, March the 8th. Just seconds ago, Nottingham Forest has scored a goal here in the big game in the EPL this morning here. Just put that goal in just now, getting late here in the game, and Forest has scored in this big game against Man City. Fun game here. Been watching all morning. Looked like it was going to be no score, but we've had a goal here with Forest. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great morning here. Sports betting morning on Saturday. We got big college basketball action. We've got NBA, NHL, and many other sports as well today, but we'll focus on some of the biggest tournament games today in college basketball. We know there's a lot of great games, man. We can't talk about them all, but you guys wanted to lead off with college basketball first, and I've selected college basketball tournament games, all the games, semifinals, finals, if you will, for our coverage today. Look, SEC, great games today. Big Ten, great games. ACC, great games, but none of those teams are going home, right? So we'll talk about mid-major tournaments, college basketball, after a pretty fun night of action last night. And how did you folks do with your sports betting on Friday night? We had a pretty good day here on some of our picks on the Morning Steam show from yesterday, including the Toronto Raptors Utah Jazz game to go under. We had a winner on the show. Also, Grizzlies and Mavericks game to go under was another show winner. We had a show winner with the Timberwolves and the Heat game to go under. I guess we had a lot of unders yesterday. We also had a winner with the Sacramento Kings in that blowout of the Spurs and late night Clippers over the Knicks. Yeah, we had them there with that win over the shorthanded Knicks. And, of course, how about the performance? Everyone's talking about it of Nikola Jokic and his incredible performance last night, maybe the greatest single-game performance by a big man in NBA history, with his incredible stat line last night and that overtime win over the Phoenix Suns. Great performance by Jokic, big numbers and a win. You know, you talk about who's the MVP of the NBA, and while SGA has had a terrific season, he was out and his team rolled. If Nikola Jokic was out, we know what happens when the Denver Nuggets don't have their big man. So, all right, let's take a look at a few more here. College basketball action last night. Man, what a night of regular season and tournament action, but mostly in the tournament action here. We did have some nice winners yesterday. Premium pick winners included the Miami of Ohio over Ball State. We had them as a premium pick winner. We also had Northern Illinois over Central Michigan in MAC action yesterday. Also winner with my selections on winnable in the game
Steam
between
play.
South Florida and Memphis. Game 2 go over. Also, premium pick winner with Bradley over Murray State. We also had the under on the show yesterday in that game. Also, winner on the show yesterday with Southern Illinois and Drake. Game 2 go under. We also had Valpo here on the show yesterday, so we did pretty well in the Missouri Valley. Also, we had North Carolina A&T and Hofstra to go over, and a premium pick winner on Hofstra in that game. Also, winner here on the show yesterday with Western Carolina and Mercer. Game 2 go under, and we had
Final.
VMI over Citadel here on the show yesterday. The winners kept coming. How about North Dakota over South Dakota getting those points anyway? We had North Dakota in the other game, an upset there. Big performance by South Dakota in the second half
Final.
to upset North Dakota State in the summit. We'll preview the summit today. Southeast Missouri over Little Rock. We had Southeast Missouri here on the show yesterday. Also, we had other winners yesterday. Gardner Webb and High Point game to go under here on the show yesterday. We had Presbyterian and Radford to go over. We had Cashville here on the show and a premium pick winner with Charleston Southern Cashville game to go under. We also had Winthrop over Longwood and ODU over App State. A lot of winners yesterday. College basketball, big day today. Wow. And some action also on the ice last night. We're going to bring home a few winners here on the show. The Washington Capitals on the puck line over the Red Wings was a winner here. Also, Winnipeg Jets with the win over New Jersey, and Chicago Blackhawks winner over Utah Hockey Club, and late night Las Vegas with the 4-0 win. We told them to lay the puck line, and that's what we did here yesterday on the show. Let me say hello to the folks in the chat. Thank you for joining me here today on Saturday with, let's see who's here. Cash Kane. He was first to chime in. Redbeard, good morning. Thank you for being here today. Joe W's here. Twisted, ready to go today. Said he had a big day in college basketball. Timothy Hake, nice to have you here, Tim. Appreciate it. Might be Hawk, I'm pretty sure there. Thank you. And Thomas Lewis says, good morning to everyone. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Bunny, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Check us out today. We got some great programming ahead today, including our featured coverage tonight of UFC 313 with the guys. We'll have action coming from Las Vegas, including that coverage of the main event, light heavyweight championship. Alex Pereira going up against Magomed Ankalaev tonight, the big feature, but great card. Everyone's pretty fired up about it. UFC 313, and you can get my best plays right now. My full card analysis of UFC 313 over at winnable.com. I have my package up there and my winnable package over at Winnable. My package over at Winnable has all of the picks of mine, every fight, the method of victory and the round victory, all of predictions from me over at Winnable. Just subscribe for $4 a day. The card's available for $3. You get $8 a week, or $19.95 when you subscribe for 1 month. That's just 50 cents a day over at winnable.com. Also, I'll have packages in college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. You can subscribe to my free picks over there as well, and get more selections, including Major League Baseball preseason. I'll have what else could we we could have a lot today over there at Winnable. College baseball probably over there today over at winnable.com. So please check me out over there. Click the QR code in the lower right hand corner of the screen. I think you'll find it's well worth it. Very inexpensive. If you want to support me here on the channel, get my picks over at winnable.com, and I'll keep coming back and do this show every day. Hopefully going to give you a bunch of free winners here in just a moment for the action on Saturday. But to get more action from me all day to your phone, I can't sit here all day with you. So why not subscribe over at winnable.com and see what it's all about? All right, thanks for that. Get that out of the way and keep it rolling here with the crew and see who else is here chiming in. We don't have much time to waste, but I'm not going to go deep in college basketball. I mean, like I said, we could go all day, but look, we want to talk about those games where teams could be going home today. All right, let's see who else is coming in here. We've got Mr. Tomatoes here today. Keandra Westmoreland, thank you as always for being here. T Bird is here. Nice to have Thomas. Good to see you. Lex is here. Lex, everybody. Hello to Lex. Joe T is here today. Fernando is ready to go. And like I said, right now, I'd say our featured coverage here, Nottingham Forest, doing a great job right now. Man, they're going to probably get this win at home here for Forest over City. We're in 1 minute, within 1 minute of extra time here. Forest trying to hang on here at this point. Also, other soccer action. I mean, all the leagues are in action. I've got uh, Spain over here right now. Also, I've got some Serie A going on here at this point as well. Also, just about to go, just minutes away, action in Germany. 5 games set to start right now in the Bundesliga. So hot action here going underway right now. And huge Major League Soccer card today for France. Doesn't get underway until 11 Eastern, but great day of football action today, and it looks like Forest has just wrapped it up here just moments ago to get that win over Manchester City. Real big highlight right there. All right, let's say hello to a few more folks. As Lex was talking, man, all those games, 100 games, he says, in college basketball. Everybody's all fired up. It's not the big, I mean, half the teams are gone. Not half, but half the teams in those tournaments have been out. So really not even a bit as many games as sometimes there are on the regular season. But we're getting to the big games, obviously. Nick Candy is here. Thomas says, Ramon, how about Gino to the Raiders?
Final.
Look, you want to go with something you feel comfortable with. I don't know if Geno Smith is, the answer for the Raiders, whether or not they can make another move or try to secure another quarterback. I mean, it feels like you got to roll with Geno if you're bringing him in here, work a trade to bring Geno to work with Carroll. Like I said, you want to feel comfortable with your quarterback right now. I mean, I'd probably, I don't know. I guess Gino's your man here. I mean, I don't mind Aiden O'Connell if that's what you got. But obviously, all those other quarterbacks that were slated to join the Raiders, that will not be the case, as it looks like it will be Gino for the Raiders. Kiadra says, go over in the Kentucky game. I agree with you, Kiadra. There you go. To be honest, I'm not previewing the major conferences here, so I'm going to agree right now with Kiadra. I like this game to go over today with Kentucky and Missouri. Let's make that. I want to make that an official play, thanks to Kiadra here. That game at noon Eastern and 9 Pacific. Like I said, I don't have the big SEC games, the Auburn, Alabama. I don't have it loaded up as a preview. So here we go with the play, Kentucky and Missouri game. Surely this will get into the 170s here today. So give me the over with Kentucky and Missouri, and with Kiadra.
Steam play.
Today, the steam is going off. I'm sure you can hear it right now. I don't even know where to begin. And other big games early, right? St. John's as well, says Thomas. Kiadra has Mississippi to roll there. Also, Thomas liking some other action there. And Kiadra, yep, Hornets cover, but Cavaliers win again.
Final.
Another victory for the Cavaliers. Nick Handy loves the Big South Conference tournament. I don't even have that one. I don't think loaded up because of the fact that the big. Oh no, of course I have the Big South. Anything with a semifinal today is what we're doing pretty much with our college previews. James Parham is here. Hello, Ziggy is here, ready to go. Twisted Davidson over the Bonnies. Twisted High Point over Radford. Jerry says I got a bad beat in that Sacramento total last night. I did too. I went with the under there. Wine Time, good morning. Great appearance there yesterday. I was watching Wine Time with his appearance on across the street there yesterday morning, previewing NBA basketball. Terrell's here today. Thank you for being here. Not going to wait too long here. Super True is here. Jerry Jones is here today. And Twisted, more action there. Thank you, Twisted. More plays. Zoe's here. Thank you, Zoe. Nasty Nate's ready to go. Says Celtics in the second quarter today. That sounds like a pick, I think. Not every game will get previewed in the NBA today. We had to leave two of them off. I mean, those teams aren't making the playoffs, so we're going to preview every NHL game, including the worst game on the board, including the Nashville Predators, but only because they are the honorary futures team of Sports Money Network. For some reason, we think they're going to go all the way. All right. Anything else here? We're ready to go, I think. I want to see if I missed anybody in the chat. Old E has come in here. Great action from Indian Wells yesterday. My favorite match. I watched late night with Danielle Collins, of course, against Haley Baptiste. And Danielle outlasted Haley there for a win. Big time steam rolling in, man. I don't even know how I'm going to get to all of it here. And let's see, anybody other names here to say hello to? All right. Thomas says a consensus play came up before the previews even came up here. How about that? All right. Terrell says the NBA's been low scoring. All right, let's get ready. Let's go to the action here. I think I'm ready to go. I don't know how much I can deliberate and talk about some of the action from Friday there yesterday. I mean, I think we got the big one there with Gino and all of our results. So let's go and get ready with the show here. All right. We're going to college basketball first by popular demand. And again, this might not be popular, but we're going to do conference mid-major tournaments. If you're in a semifinal or better, this is what's getting previewed here, semifinal or later at this point. So if you guys want to chime in with some of those other games, you guys have had some great comments involving those big games today. So, all right, let's get ready to roll. Oh, Wildcats over, Thomas says, is the play. Okay, could it be Arizona? Could it be Villanova? Could it be Kansas State? How many other Wildcats can I think of? All right. Let's go here. I've got it ready to go. First off, go to the Missouri Valley Conference to get the show started with Belmont and Drake. I don't know. I'm a little out of sorts here because we're going with the college first, so I hope I don't screw it up too much here. Mr. Tomatoes says I didn't say hi. Mr. Tomatoes might want to rewind the video and we'll go back and look at it again. All right. Belmont and Drake. This one's at 3:30
Steam
Eastern,
play.
12:30 Pacific time from the man. I want to let me roll the steam out here, you guys, before we do this. We've got so many moves here and so many games, and I want to cover a lot of games. So let me do the steam first, real quick, if you don't mind, before we get into the previews, okay? With all these other conferences. Siena and Manhattan has just been steamed to the over in this one. First off, it was 149, now up to 151. Man, if you looked at two teams that are going to go over today on this card, at least to have a big track record of overs this year, I would think when two teams are clashing, Siena and Manhattan might be those teams steamed to the over here to 150.5. VMI and Greensboro. Let's touch on some conference tournament action in this one with VMI and Greensboro in the Southern Conference. This one is getting steamed to the under. It was 138, now 137, steamed to the under with VMI and Greensboro just moments ago. Also, just moments ago, steam here came in Eastern Washington and Northern Arizona in the Big Sky first round. This one was 144.5, going down to 143 here with Eastern Washington and Northern Arizona steam to the under. All right, next up, it was Central Florida and West Virginia steam here to the over in this one with Central Florida and West Virginia. This one was 146.5, and now we're up to 147.5 steam to the over with Central Florida and West Virginia. Also, moments ago, steam coming in here with a pro game. Washington. We'll talk about this one because this one does not have a preview. Washington and Toronto game to go over got steamed to was 221.5 going up to 223. Washington and Toronto steamed to the over just seconds ago. One of the games we'll preview, a big game, the championship game of the Ohio Valley Conference at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific with SIU Edwardsville and Southeast Missouri State. The steam is coming in right now on the under in this conference tournament championship game, the only one today. It was 136. We're down to 135 or lower here right now. Steam to the under in the Ohio Valley Conference championship game between Edwardsville and Southeast Missouri State. Also, steam coming in moments ago with Sunbelt quarterfinal action. We'll preview this one. Steam to the under with Old Dominion and Troy. These two teams have had some unders in their respective seasons this year, and it was 133 all the way down to 131 or lower here with a big move to the under. Old Dominion and Troy in Sunbelt Conference play. All right, we got a few more here now coming in. Just maybe the ones that came in since we came on the air here, but St. Peter's taking some steam here right now. St. Peter's in their matchup today against Canisius. St. Peter's was a 12-point favorite. They're up to 13 here right now. St. Peter's took the steam over Canisius. Also, Texas Arlington took some steam here in their matchup today against Cal Baptist. Texas Arlington was getting 7.5, but now they're getting 6.5, maybe even 6 here. Arlington took the steam against Cal Baptist. Also, Utah Valley and Tarleton State. Here's some steam to the under in this matchup between Utah Valley and Tarleton State. It was 130. We're down to 129 here with Utah Valley and Tarleton State. Getting steamed here right now as I speak is Northwestern and Maryland. We're getting some steam here in this Big Ten matchup to the under right now. It was 141. But it is going down here right now. Man, these two teams go over a lot this season, don't they? Northwestern and Maryland, but we're seeing steam to the under in this matchup. It was 141. We're down to 140 here, Northwestern and Maryland. Also, in conference tournament play, steam right now coming in. Belmont and Drake game to go under. This is a steam coming in right now in this big Missouri Valley Conference game. These so far in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, that first game, I was mad. I said, look, Missouri Valley, we know all these games are going to go under. What happened when they opened the tournament up? It went over. But since then, all unders in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament so far to pick up right where they left off last year and every year. Belmont and Drake is getting steamed to the under right now in that one, down to 133 or lower. All the games are now back on track, it seems like, at Arch Madness, going under. All right, big important move here right now with Missouri in the big game against Kentucky coming up right now. Missouri is getting steamed here from 5.5 up to 6, maybe even higher here. I'm going to look at it here because this is a big one. 6.5 right now. Big move on Missouri in that SEC game that everybody's talking about. We just talked about it. My pick here on the show is on the over. We're not previewing it. This is the preview. Go over Kentucky and Missouri, over 169.5. Right now, getting steamed tonight, right this second, is Georgia Tech and Wake Forest game to go over. There's so much steam coming in right now. I'm glad you guys are here with me to go over these moves. You hear them in the background. This isn't just something I'm making up to wake up at 6 in the morning and rattle off a bunch of BS to you. Georgia Tech and Wake Forest steam to the over. Right now it was 141. They're up to 142.5 with Georgia Tech and Wake Forest. Steam right now to the over in this one. I don't have time. I'd rather sleep than make up stuff. So I'm here to give you these moves right now here on the Morning Steam Show. Right now, again, another one coming in here right now with Pepperdine and Oregon State. West Coast Conference action tonight. Steam coming in right now on the under in this one. Under, with Pepperdine and Oregon State. That seems out of the norm of what we've seen from those two teams. It was 149. I think we're going to make it all the way down to 147.5 when this one stops moving. We might even go to 147 with Pepperdine and Oregon State. Boy, this thing's going crazy. How about DePaul taking the steam here against Georgetown at home? Are you kidding me? DePaul was a 1-point dog. They're going to be a 1-point favorite here right now in that one with Georgetown and DePaul. DePaul is taking the steam here right now in that one. Also, just seconds ago, here's another one, conference tournament play. The other game in the West Coast Conference coming in right now, Loyola Marymount and Washington State. Steam to the under here just moments ago. It was 150. We're down to 149 here with LMU and Washington State. Steam to the under. Also, Summit League action here, North Dakota and St. Thomas. We talked about how the Summit, right, a very high-scoring league, but once they get into tournament play, maybe it slams down a little bit to the under a little bit, and that's where the steam is coming in right now in the matchup between North Dakota and St. Thomas. We do have this one lined up as a previewed game, but right now the steam is coming in on the under. It was 157 down to 156 here with North Dakota and St. Thomas. I think we ended up with a push there yesterday on the total there with our, I think we had we had North Dakota on the show yesterday. That's what it was. All right, I think we might be caught up in a lot of these. Maybe we can finally get around to going over some of the games here. Texas Southern did take some steam just as we were coming on the air. They were a 6-point favorite. They're up to 7 right now in their matchup against Prairie View on the extra board today. And that might be, how about Bryant?
Final.
How about Bryant? Let me cover Bryant and their game today, America East Conference. We're not going to get too deep into the America East, but Bryant did get steamed in their game against Maryland, Baltimore County. It was 13. They're up to 14, maybe even 14 and a half as top-seeded Bryant in America East play got steamed this morning. Also, another one here, real quick, if I may. Wofford and East Tennessee State took some steam to the under here. It was 136 and a half. We're seeing this one down here now at the Southern Conference quarterfinals from 137 down to 136 or lower here. Steam to the under, Wofford and East Tennessee State. All right.
System play.
Also, one more here, real quick. Valparaiso.
Steam play.
I'm sorry. Let me get this one going here. Justin, I'm seeing a goal here by. Oh, we got it. Yep. Seeing a goal here right now. Some of the action in Germany here in this one, as Bayern Munich has just scored in their matchup here at home with Bochum. Also, Werder has scored against Leverkusen. All right, steam came in just seconds ago. Canisius and St. Peter's steam to the under here right now in this one with Connecticut and St. Peter's. We just said St. Peter's got steamed from 12 to 13. Now the total just got steamed under from 132 to 131. Canisius and St. Peter's steamed to the under. Also, moments ago, Marist and Mount St. Mary's steam to the under here in this one. It was 132. We're down to 131 in this one. Marist and St. Mary's just moments ago. Steam to the under. Also, Boston College and Pitt took some steam in this one to the under. It was 142 down to 141 here with Boston College and Pittsburgh. Steam to the under there. Also, Harvard got steamed in their matchup. Harvard against Dartmouth. Harvard was a pick. Harvard's now favored. They took the steam against Dartmouth. Fairleigh Dickinson is getting steamed right now in conference tournament action here. Just mentioned it moments ago. This is one we will preview when we get there in the Northeast Conference, as Fairleigh Dickinson is getting steamed right now in their matchup with Central Connecticut. They were getting 10.5. This one's down to 9.5, maybe even lower. Fairleigh Dickinson taking the steam against Central Connecticut. All right, thanks for joining me, everybody. As we kind of I think we can get ready. Maybe we got to say hi to a few more folks in the chat before we get going. Man, I really see a lot of names in here, and we've got. Let's see here. Donut is here today. Thank you, Donut, for being here. Also, Super True likes that over with me in the Kentucky game. So does, I think, Twisted there. Aubrey Travis, great to see you this morning. Ready to go with us. Textiles, hello. Thomas Lewis, liking North Dakota, liking Texas Southern. Gravy's here, ready to go. Mike Humphrey, nice to have you here. Appreciate it. And now I'm ready to go. I think we've caught up on a lot of that steam here. Got a couple more here, though, real quick to share with you. Delaware and Campbell in the Coastal. I'll never get over that. In the Coastal here, the steam came in on the under with Delaware and Campbell. It already came in on Campbell. Campbell had moved from 2.5 to from I want to make sure I get this line right. The steam did come in this game between Delaware and Campbell, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific time in this one, and it was 2.5. It was 1.5. We're up to 2.5 right now with Delaware and Campbell. Also, Delaware and Campbell steam
System playing.
to the under right now. It was 148. We're down all the way to 145 with the game between Delaware and Campbell. Wow, big 3-point move right there. Delaware and Campbell. All right. Thank you, fam. And good morning to Nuke here today. And we're ready to go now. Well, Belmont and Drake. As we said, let's get going here. We just reported the steam came in on the under in this one between Belmont and Drake. Action in the Missouri Valley Arch Madness here. And look, like I said, the games are going under here big time all of a sudden with the Missouri Valley Conference. The first game went over, and it's been all unders since right now. Now, maybe the adjustment is in. Like I said, the steam is in on the under here, so taking away a little bit of value for the steam chasers there a little bit. But man, how can I not consider it feels like going under in this one? Look, I like Drake a lot, and I have them to win this conference tournament. Certainly here, they come in on a roll here, big time winning streak. Now Belmont's on a winning streak too. They've won 4 straight, but you've got Drake here. They look pretty good in their conference game against SIU, 70-53. They won that first tournament game for Belmont here. They also won their first tournament game against Illinois State, 73-63. Drake is 16-12 against the spread this season, and I like Drake here. I'm gonna give out Drake here. I think we gave out that steam look. I'm pretty sure I like the under. This thing's already moved like some of the books opened it as high as 137.5. So the fact now that it's at 133, let's look at the actual line right now in this in the matchup. 132 is the current line here, and it's up to 7.5 in this one. Between Belmont and Drake. So I'm going to go double play here. Look, we haven't done any double play. I said I was going to do more double plays here. I like Drake. Here's some steam right now in one of the big games at noon. Just want to mention it real quick. St. John's and Marquette steam to the under here right now with St. John's and Marquette. It was 144 down to 143 here right now. And then right behind it, Marist taking some steam here real quick as well. Marist, an underdog in their game against Mount St. Mary's. They were getting 3 points. It's down to 2 here right now with Marist taking the steam against Mount St. Mary's. All right. So looks like I've missed the boat here on both the side and total, but hey, we got to give out some plays here on the morning steam. Give me Drake. Give me the under in the Missouri Valley Conference opening game here of the semifinals tonight. We'll go to your picks here in the chat, see what you have in this one. I didn't even rattle off anything from my notes here, but maybe I can get them out and add a little bit to it. But I just want to go to the chat right now. We got to keep the show moving and see what you guys have in this one with Irish King is here. Nice to have you, Irish King. All right. Smash it, like it, pass it around, says Donut. And let's see here. Keandra likes Drake. Twisted likes Belmont, though.
System playing.
Take the points and go over. Twisted going against me here, or maybe against the moves, I would say, is what Twisted might be doing there. A Steam play just came in moments ago with more tournament action. Let me pass this one along to you in the game between Massachusetts, Lowell, and Maine. Lowell already took some steam earlier to go from a 1.5 point dog to about a pick 'em here in this one between Massachusetts, Lowell, and Maine. But right now, the line is currently Maine. They're still a 1 point favorite, maybe still two at a few books. But the steam did come in on Lowell. Anyway, the steam that I'm talking about just seconds ago came in on the under at 143.5. It's down to 142 here. It was 144 early. Steam to the under here with Lowell and Maine. All right. And earlier, a little bit more steam came in. I want to pass this one along to you in some tournament play. I didn't get around to mentioning this one, but I do want to add it here while I'm on the screen here anyway. Loyola Chicago did take some steam in their early matchup, 12:30 Eastern with UMass. Loyola Chicago was a 2.5 point favorite up to 3.5. Loyola Chicago took some steam this morning as well. All right, we got a few more plays from you here. Zoe says take Drake first half, Drake for Nuke. And Terrell says 71-54. That would work for me. I'll take that all day long, Terrell. Hey, North Carolina's taking some steam in their huge matchup today. I say huge because everyone's been kind of talking about it. I don't know if it's really a Titanic tilt here necessarily against Duke today. It is for Duke, obviously, with their coming down to the wire with Clemson. We don't have these previewed. Come on, Duke's a 10-point favorite. Clemson's a 17-point favorite. We might have picks, but anyway, I kind of like Carolina. Maybe I don't know if I could do it. Here's the Carolina taking the steam though here against Duke.
Final.
They were 10.5 point dogs down to 9 here. It looks like 9.5 here as North Carolina took the steam. I almost went with a play there, but let's not do it. I didn't look at those games as much for the previews. So, okay, let's continue on here right now with some more action for today, including a little bit more steam that came in here. I want to report to you with Virginia. They took the steam against against Syracuse. It was Syracuse by 1.5. It's now a pick 'em. Virginia took the steam this morning in their matchup with Syracuse. Also, earlier it was Creighton taking the steam against Butler. They were a 10-point favorite. They're now up to 11 here. Creighton took the steam this morning against Butler. All right, gonna preview. Gotta get there's Bobby Mack. He likes Drake in this one. Jim Duweiger is here today, and he likes Princeton in their matchup today. Let's keep it going in the Missouri Valley with Valparaiso taking on Bradley here in semifinal action. Let me get one more move here coming in right now.
Steam play.
A couple more moves coming in here right now. Steam coming in with Samford in their matchup with Furman today. You know, I went with Samford to win the Southern Conference tournament. I went off the board there a little bit, and I went with Samford to win the tournament. Right now, Samford is getting steamed in their matchup with Furman. They were a 2-point favorite. They're up to 3 here right now in the Southern Conference tournament. We didn't preview the quarterfinals just yet. We'll probably get around to those tomorrow, but Samford just took the steam. Also, Seton Hall in Connecticut, steam to the under right now in this one with Seton Hall in Connecticut. It was 133. We're down to 132 here right now with Seton Hall and Connecticut. All right, so Valpo and Bradley here in this one. And again, I think it still holds true in Arch Madness. It does feel like right now these games, like I said, they've all gone under except for the first one, and that kind of continues, the streak of Missouri Valley Conference games going under here over the last couple of seasons at Arch Madness. This is just the way it's been, in that tournament. In fact, in fact, over the last 10 seasons, the under is coming in at over 66%. Nearly two-thirds of the games in the Missouri Valley Conference over the last 10 years have gone under right now, and that continues to increase this year. It started the uh, tournament at uh, 65%. So it continues to go under in the Missouri Valley. Let's take a look at this one with Valpo and Bradley here in
Final.
this one. You've got Bradley, they're coming in here with a record of 25-7. Valpo is 15-18, but Valpo's done a nice job here so far with wins over Illinois, Chicago, and Northern Iowa. They were underdogs in both those games. They're kind of the darlings here right now of the conference tournaments here so far this week. For Bradley, they did get a win and cover over Murray, 70-62. They won by 8. They were favored by 5.5. Bradley's won 4 straight. They've covered 3 straight. Valparaiso covered in their season finale despite losing to UIC, but then came back and beat them impressively in that game. So let's take a look here what you might do in this one with Valparaiso and Bradley conference tournament action tonight. And here we go to the chat. There's Nuke. He's on Drexel in that one. B-Hawk is here, says Fake Liberty. Also, B-Hawk on the Stars today. Thank you. Thomas Lewis is on Samford. And Roberts on Valpo here in this one. All right, I'll wait for a few more here, but we're not going to wait too long with so many games to go today. But nonetheless, we've got, let me get the back on the screen and pass along one quick move here real quick. It's a tournament game. Coastal action here. Steam coming in right now between two teams. Look, Hofstra and Monmouth. The Steam's coming in on the under. We're not previewing this tournament today, but Steam coming in on the under at 131. It's going all the way down here to 129. Hofstra and Monmouth. Yeah, there's been some unders with those two teams for sure. Aubrey Travis likes Kanaev here. He says Blades has the experience, but Kanaev is ready to go in this one. Look, I think what we've seen from Blades, probably inconsistency, right? Kanaev here, when you've got two big guys like this and a big old line with heavy volatility, you've got to take the underdog here. Get my plays for tonight's UFC. This is one that I have here with Aubrey, and you can get it over at winnable.com. I have every fight predicted, but here I'll just let you know this is my big underdog of the night, and I agree with Aubrey here with Kunaev. All right, don't forget to check out our videos for UFC 313. My videos are up with VB MMA picks. We previewed 4 fights this week with Dagestan Poppy, including the main event. And don't forget also, First Strike. The guys have their 4 best plays today, including MMA Jeff, Mikey Money, Fanatical Jim, and Subhuman Gaucho. They've got their best plays for UFC Fight Night. UFC 313 here today. So please check it out. Go over to right after I'm done. Get ready for UFC action tonight. The card tonight at UFC starts at 6:35 Eastern, 3:35 Pacific. So make sure you're here in advance of the card
Final.
tonight here in Las Vegas. All right. And we're previewing college basketball tournament action right now with Valparaiso and Bradley. And you guys are starting to make the calls here a little bit. But I got interrupted by some steam. But let me get back to the flow here a little bit. As we take a look at this matchup here and see if you guys have some plays as well. All right. I think we're seeing some more here. Terrell says Valpo got swept by Bradley, but they played them tough. Take the points. Also, Twisted with his best plays here today. Thank you, Twisted. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Take everyone a second to check those out. George Mason and Richmond taking some steam here right now in their matchup. Let me get this one out there real quick. Regular season game here. George Mason and Richmond steam to the under here. It was 127. We're down to 126, maybe even 125.5 here in this one with George Mason and Richmond steam to the under. All right. Kiadra on Valpo there. And also, let's see here. Zoe leaning Bradley. Super True's got their play of the day here with Texas Tech game to go over. All right. Thank you, Super True. Also, Richmond on the money line for cash gain. All right, for me in this one, I can only go one direction if I'm talking Missouri Valley, and the total's 1,420. I got to go under 1,420, don't I? That's 142 or whatever I said it was. I will take the under in this one with Valparaiso and Bradley. I got to go under. So we talked up all these unders here in the Missouri Valley. Wow, look at all this steam rolling in. Let's continue with it right now. This is our college basketball coverage on Steam Saturday. About to be done with Steam Saturday. All right, Fresno State and San Jose State. Steam Fresno here was getting 6.5 down to 5.5. The steam has just come in on Fresno State in their matchup with San Jose State. Also, steam in this big game that everyone's been talking about today. There is some steam coming in right now in the game between Alabama and Auburn, and it's coming in on the over here in this one. The big game today, everyone's talking about it. I don't have it previewed.
Final.
I think it's going to go over, don't you? Man, you're going to have to go over a huge number now as it continues to move higher here in this big matchup. With Alabama and Auburn, it was 177 to 179 here right now in this one with Alabama and Auburn. Wow. Big number here. I want to look to see here real quick. It might even be 178.5. I don't think we made it quite to 179 yet. So let's halt it right there, though. 178.5 in the big game between Alabama and Auburn that everybody's talking about today, even though we know the SEC season of championship is over. Okay, one more here real quick. Steam in the game between Texas Tech and Arizona State. Steam to the over. This one seems pretty popular today so far. It was 151.5. We're up to 152.5. Steam to the over here with Texas Tech and Arizona State.
Steam playing.
The Buffalo Sabres are getting steamed right now in their matchup against the Florida Panthers. Florida was 270 at some of the openers, but man, Buffalo is taking the steam here right now, and this one's going to be all the way down here to maybe 240 or so. So Buffalo might get down to plus 200 right now. Buffalo's getting steamed against Florida today, big underdog. All right, we're done in the Missouri Valley. And Thank you to Twisted. He's got some more dogs here in UFC 313. Like I said, get my plays over at winnable.com for just $3 today. That UFC card. Okay, here we go. We're going to move next into the Summit and take a look at the one between South Dakota here and Nebraska Omaha. In Summit League action here tonight, semifinals in these two. My pick for the Summit tournament is out, as I picked North Dakota State, but they lost to this South Dakota team. They blew a halftime lead in that game yesterday, or I give credit to South Dakota. They played well in the second half to take over that game yesterday against North Dakota State, and they were an underdog in that game by 3 points, 2 points, whatever it was, and South Dakota came back to get the win and the upset here. So let's take a look at this one right now between South Dakota and Nebraska Omaha. This one goes off at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific time tonight. Current line right now is 5 and 165 between these two. Game 763, 764. And we'll see what you guys have in this one.
Steam playing.
Uh-oh. Here's some steam, though, real quick. I'll get to the game in just a minute. Steam coming in right here with Virginia and Syracuse. We already mentioned Virginia took the steam from 1.5 to pick them. Now the steam's coming in on the under. It was 138 down to 137 here. Steam to the under, Virginia and Syracuse. Okay, here we go with South Dakota and Nebraska Omaha in this one. And cover some of the numbers here anyway for you and give you a moment to make some picks in this one for Omaha. They come in with a 20-12 record. South Dakota 19-13. Omaha's won 4 straight coming into this one. Now, first meeting was won by South Dakota. Omaha's kind of dominated this series, but South Dakota was able to break through and get a victory in the series in the first matchup of the season between these two teams. 91-87 is a 1.5 point dog. Omaha came back to win at home and cover in their home game. They laid 4.5. They won 93-85, but both those games went well over this total. In fact, 12 of the last 13 games between these two teams have gone over. And the totals in the regular season games were 170 and 172, and they still went over in those games. Now, they have calmed down here, it feels like, a little bit in the Summit tournament right now, is from what we've seen on, some of these games here anyway. But what it really is in the Summit, the high totals of 153 or higher over the last 7 years have gone over at, let's see here. Let me make sure I get this right. They've totally trended under here over the last 7 years. In fact, totals with that are 153 or higher, such as both of these games today, have gone under 75% of the time in the Summit League. All 8 games in the Summit League went under last year, but these two teams are mad overs, when they face one another. So you do have a little bit of complexities to it here. The pressure's on, so maybe there could be some defense. here. All right. Omaha's won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two teams. South Dakota has covered 8 of the last 12 meetings against these two teams. South Dakota has gone 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games, but Omaha is one of the best spread teams in the country. They were 21-9 against the spread this season, but South Dakota wasn't bad either, 16-11 against the spread coming in. So let's go to the chat and see what you might do in this one. When South Dakota takes on Omaha here today. I don't care about the trends. I'm going over as my pick. Give me the over in this one with South Dakota and Omaha. I've got to try the over. I know what I just said about this conference tournament, but man, these two teams cannot stop going over against one another. All right, let's see here. Here's the Doge likes South Dakota. Robert likes Omaha. He does like the under here. And he said, when they're playing at the Sanford Pentagon, he says that's basically a home game for the Coyotes. That is kind of true, but this is such a wonderful venue and all the teams pack it in there so good. It feels like, man, I mean, this is just a great place for basketball. That's why they play all those special games there with major teams at the beginning of the season as well. Everyone loves to play there. So I agree with that, but I also think all the teams have great representation. If you watched the games last night on the Summit stream. All right, a little bit more steam coming in here. Speaking of, Stanford and Louisville. I almost said Samford, Stanford, whatever. Steam to the under here in this one, Stanford and Louisville. You'd think under, right, when thinking about these two teams, maybe. They're both kind of gone under this year. It was 148.5. We're down to 147.5 right now, or lower. Stanford and Louisville just took steam to the under. Also, Fordham and Rhode Island, steam to the over, and why not, right, Nate? When you have these two teams, you got to think over right now. I would think it was 158. It's all the way up here to 159.5 or so with Fordham and Rhode Island. Big time steam to the over. Thomas is on Omaha here in this one. Jim says, I'm scared of these South Dakota unders. And Zoe says, I'm going to tell you, Ramon, go with that over. Like I said, I'll just make it clear. The Summit League has a weird trend in these tournaments, even though this is the highest scoring league in the country. When they get to tournament time, it goes under. But I just can't do it with this matchup. Both games, 178 points in both games this year. What did they do last season also when they met in the previous game? 175. So the last 3 games between these two teams, 175, 178, and 178. And we'll see here, 166 here. So, okay, that's it in that first one. Let's keep it going right now.
Steam playing.
Let some of these steam plays build up here, and we'll get back to it. Okay, the other one now here in the Summit is between North Dakota taking on St. Thomas. Wow. St. Thomas here, kind of a big story here if you think about it right now, with St. Thomas here in position, if you will, as the favorite in this game by 8 here in this one. Now, if St. Thomas wins the Summit League tournament, the conference's automatic bid would go to the highest seeded postseason eligible team, which would be Omaha. So, interestingly enough, Omaha doesn't necessarily need to win the tournament. Pardon me.
Steam playing.
All 9 teams are participating in this tournament, But if St. Thomas wins, they're one of those teams that they are ineligible because they're still transitioning. I don't know if I can use that word anymore, but I just did. They are, still transitioning, that dumb probationary period, which shouldn't be allowed anymore when we're talking about paying these athletes and how these programs work. But nonetheless, St. Thomas is ineligible for NCAA tournament play. So their whole goal, I guess, it could be to win this tournament. Maybe that have to be the way you. Ooh, pardon me, gang. Maybe that would have to be the way you'd look at it. So if that affects your handicap, let me know. But it is an interesting point that does need to be brought up here. All right, let's see what you guys have in this one with North Dakota and St. Thomas. All right. Okay, Thomas says he likes North Dakota in this one.
Steam playing.
And Nuke says that sucks. It does. It's just not great. All right, maybe we're not going to get a lot of picks on this one. Maybe I'll got a few notes on this game to give you guys a moment if you want to make a pick. Here, I can give a few more statistics out. St. Thomas comes in here with a 3-game winning streak. They're the number 2 seed in the tournament. Here, they won over Denver in their opener, covered the spread 80-62, was a 10-point favorite. For North Dakota here, they did win 85-69 as an 8-point dog there with a little bit of an upset certainly here. So they're getting 8 points today in this one. And I'll go back to the well in this one and go with the under as my play. Like I said, these summit games have this weird tendency to go under. I know I just talked about that last one, but again, I'm putting the series history kind of into play there. Like I said, when you've got these summit games, when the total is over 153.5 over the last 7 years, it's coming in under at over 75% in Summit League tournament play. All right, North Dakota here for Doge. Robert went with the under. Terrell says I've got High Point to win in that early game today against Radford. We'll preview it. All right, more steam is rolling in here right now. Action Jackson went under, and it's tournament steam, so we got to talk about it. The matchup between Winthrop and Cashville. We'll be previewing the Big South, but I got to talk about it right now because there's steam coming in on the under in Winthrop and Asheville. The total was 166, but it's down to 165 or lower here right now. Winthrop and Asheville taking some steam to the under. Also, just moments ago, added board steam with Texas Southern and Prairie View. We already said Texas Southern was taking the steam today and moved from 6 to 7. And also right now the steam is coming in on the under. The game started to move up from 143 to 144.5, but is getting slammed back down here right now with some steam to the under in the game between Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M. Also, just moments ago in a big game today, not a big game, but you've got Big 12 champion Houston taking on Baylor in an attractive matchup late tonight. And we know Houston's already clinched, but right now the steam's coming in on the over in that game between Houston and Baylor. It was 131. It's up to 132. Will we see Houston kind of backing off a little bit here? Could Baylor end up winning this one against Houston? Because, Houston is already kind of solidified themselves. They're playing great. No reason to let up, but maybe Baylor could be the side today there against Houston. Kind of want to make that pick in a way if I can. I'm not previewing that game today, but kind of like Baylor there, actually. Let me do it. I'm going to make a pick in that game right now because I want to have some other picks here. Like I said, I'm not doing every game today. Some of these nice games, but we got to do these tournaments. So give me Baylor here in this one, plus the points against Houston tonight. Another a pick from me here as we go over some of these other games. Right now, they're getting 4.5 points in that one. All right.
System play.
Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. Let me give out. Oh, you got to get back to my pick there. No, I think we can move on to the next one, right? Let's go to the next tournament. Edwardsville taking on Southeast Missouri State. We've already talked about it in a way. This is a championship game of the Ohio Valley Conference with Southeast Missouri taking on SIU Edwardsville. In this one, you've got Southeast Missouri favored in this game by 2.5. The total here has gone down to 134.5 in this one. So a little bit of a move to the under here between these two teams. You got Edwardsville having come in here off of a win over Tennessee State. You know, they got a bye all the way to the semifinal. They beat Tennessee State 71-69. However, with that win, they did not cover the spread in that game. It was Tennessee State that won it. Edwardsville is my pick to win the conference tournament here, so maybe I have to stick with them here against Southeast Missouri State, plus these points. A little bit awkward. Now, the widely reported steam did already come in on the under here. Southeast Missouri State, they beat Arkansas Little Rock 78-59. They also got a bye into the semifinals, so they got a nice ride here. They did cover against Little Rock. Southeast Missouri is 20-9 against the spread this season. Edwardsville's not bad. They're 17-12 against the spread, but have done most of their good work as a favorite. They're 13-7 against the spread as a favorite, just 4-5 against the spread as an underdog. I'm talking about Edwardsville here. So let's see what you have in this one between SIU Edwardsville and Southeast Missouri in this one. Look, Ohio Valley Conference underdogs are on a massive run here in the title game. In the Ohio Valley Conference, over the last 14 championship games, 14 years, the underdog is 12-2 against the spread. However, they were actually 12-1 before last year. Little Rock lost to Moorhead last year, 69-55 as a 4.5 point dog. But nonetheless, the underdogs 12-2 against the spread in the Ohio Valley Conference championship game. So I picked Edwardsville to win this conference tournament. There's no reason why I shouldn't take them here. Plus 2.5 points. I've got Edwardsville over Southeast Missouri today. Let's go to the chat. See if you guys, nobody likes this game. So, oh, here we go. Terrell's got something. He says he likes the fact that this total has been steamed to the under because he likes it over. He's got Edwardsville to score 80 points. That would totally do it for me today, for sure. We've got all right, I'll leave it at that. Robert's on Edwardsville here. Thank you, Robert. I really should save it for a premium, but I'm on the record with Edwardsville winning the title, so I got to go with them here, plus points. Action Jackson says, I'm fading Ramon here. Go with SEMO. No problem. SEMO 8-2 against the spread. In their last 10 games, they've really been terrific. All right. Thanks for joining me, everybody, here on the Morning Steam Show.
System play.
And let's go to more conference tournament Big time action here. Let's go to the Northeast Conference with St. Francis and Long Island. In this one, you've got Long Island favored here.
Play.
More steam rolling in here. I'll get to it in just a moment. Okay, here we go. With action here in the Northeast Conference, Long Island's a 6.5 point favorite, and the total here is 129. Now, this one's at noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific in this one. Now, another one here where underdogs here in the Northeast Conference semifinals, they do pretty well, but for the most part, favorites in the Northeast Conference that are this high, they just don't do that well. Northeast Conference favorites are not that good in this conference tournament. So let's go to some of the numbers anyway here. But coming into this season, favorites of, let's see here. Well, let me go to the preview here on this one with St. Francis and Long Island. Again, early start here in this one, so be ready. This one goes off in 90 minutes here with semifinal number 1 and Long Island favored here right now. All right, let me get some of the numbers out here anyway in this one for Long Island coming into this one. Here we go. Long Island's 17 and 15. They're the number 2 seed coming in. They're on a long winning streak here right now for sure, and they're definitely covering numbers, although they did not cover in their tournament game against Chicago State. They won by 11. They were favored by 12.5, but Long Island is a good spread team this season, 19 and 11. Against the spread for St. Francis here, they also come in on a 4-game winning streak. St. Francis also went 3-0-1 in those 4 games. St. Francis is 15 and 12 against the spread this season. The two teams split their regular season contest with the home team winning and covering in both games. St. Francis won by 10 at home, favored by 1.5 back on January 24th. A week earlier, Long Island won at home 64-51 as a 5.5 point favorite. And let's see what you have in this one with St. Francis and Long Island. Here we go. Thomas says we have a consensus play. I never did know what it was, though. Thomas, you said we had one before the show even started, but I didn't catch what it was. Sir, help me out. Long Island for Cash Kane. St. Francis says that'll get this one to go over. You know, Long Island's definitely an under team, but St. Francis is an over team, no doubt about it. Here's Robert says St. Francis. Zoe says take St. Francis team total over in the first half, 28.5. Oh, Kentucky over. Thank you. Okay, there you go, Thomas. That was that Kentucky game. Okay, cool. I understand now. Because I was talking it up and everybody else was too. Great job. Okay, so
Play.
got a lot of steam coming in here again. All right, St. Francis and Long Island. I got to take these points. I got to take these points with St. Francis as my pick here in the Northeast semifinal. All right. Oh, we got one more here. LIU for Cash Kane. Oh, over in the LIU game. Okay. Next up, Fairleigh Dickinson taking on Central Connecticut. In this one, Central Connecticut, 9.5, 138. We said already that the steam came in. There's still some 10s out there. I'll call it 9.5, but the steam did come in on Fairleigh Dickinson. Now, I'm on the record saying Central Connecticut is my pick to win the Northeast Conference tournament, but look, they got to win 2 games. This is just a semifinal here. So total right now at 139.5. This one's gone up. In fact, I'm seeing some 140s out there in this game. I'll put 140 down here in the matchup between Fairleigh Dickinson and Connecticut today. This one is at 2 Eastern and 11 Pacific time in this one. We'll go to the chat and see what you guys might have in the matchup between Fairleigh Dickinson and Central Connecticut here. And go over some of the numbers. Central Connecticut is the top seed. They're on a winning streak right now, a big-time winning streak coming into this game. Now, they don't cover all the time. In fact, some of these big numbers, they've actually been over the last five games here. They cover the games that are single digits. They fail to cover when it's double digits. Unfortunately, here they're either 9.5 or 10 coming into this game, so you'll have to be the judge of that right now. Still, they were a terrific cover this season. Central Connecticut 20-8 against the spread, 15-7 against the spread as a favorite, but Fairleigh Dickinson 18-11 against the spread, 13-6 as an underdog. Pick your poison in this one between these two teams coming in. How about it, huh? All right, I think I know where I might be heading this one. We're seeing some steam coming in the NBA. I probably should talk about it a little bit here, but all right. I'm going with the over in this one. Now, I know that these two teams, Fairleigh Dickinson is 10-18 to the under this season, but Central Connecticut's been putting up some overs here of late, and the fact that, well, it seems to be going up here just a little bit, open 137.5, and now we're seeing some 140s. So I'm going to trust the move here a little bit, and I'm going to go over with Fairleigh Dickinson and Connecticut in the Northeast semifinals here. Give me the over in this one. All right, let's go to the chat. See, we might have some plays here. And High Point Super True says, hey, FDU for Nuke. That might be it from you guys. So I'll be moving to the Big South unless anybody else has any plays in the Northeast. And we're done, really, once we get to the Big South. I'm not going to go into many more games. We got some steam here real quick. That's kind of our coverage on Saturdays anyways, is the steam. But real quick, we got NBA steam that just came in the game between Orlando and Milwaukee. Steam to the under here for sure. Orlando's been going under all the time right now. We've been hitting that all the time. It feels like, we got an under situation with these two, Orlando and Milwaukee. The total was 218 down to 217 here with Orlando and Milwaukee. Steam here to the under, but also the side got steamed in the game as well. Orlando was a 7-point dog, and they're now down to 6 here in this one. Orlando and the under took the steam. We'll examine the personnel here as we get to the NBA in just a moment. But we want to do these tournaments first so Nuke can go on and have fun with the grandkids for a little while and jump on the mini trampoline. All right. Wofford is taking some steam here real quick, if I may, in their tournament game against East Tennessee State. We already said the steam came in on the under here, and now Wofford is taking the steam at +2 down to +1. This one could move to a pick'em. Wofford is taking the steam here in the Southern Conference play against East Tennessee State. Oh, I'm having some fun here with the steam today. Loyola Chicago and UMass steam to the over here right now. We already had Loyola Chicago take the steam from 2.5 up to 3, and now here's some steam on the over from 146.5 up to 147.5 with Loyola Chicago taking on UMass. Also, TCU and Colorado, we had some steam come in on this one on the under here. It was 137 down to 136 or lower. You know, TCU and Colorado, when I think of those two teams, I would probably think of the under so far this season. I would think they're both kind of trending under. Off the top of my head anyway. Mississippi State and Arkansas also steam to the under here in this one. It was 149. We're down to 148 or lower here in this one with Mississippi State and Arkansas. Arkansas did get steamed in this one as well as a 1 point favorite up to. I'm going to look at this one real quick, make sure I get it right. Because yeah, they're 1.5 pretty much right now, Arkansas against Mississippi State. And that total is down to 147.5 actually right now. All right. I think got one more here real quick. St. Louis got steamed in their matchup. I'm talking about the St. Louis Billikens in their matchup against Duquesne. St. Louis was 5.5. They're up to 6.5 here. That was the original line. Duquesne actually started to take the early action, and now St. Louis is getting steamed again, back up here from 5.5 to 6.5 right now in their matchup. All right, also Drexel got steamed for sure in their matchup against Elon. This one goes off at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Let me just look at the market action. I think I'm going to have a play for you right here in this one right now. The steam came in on Drexel, so make no mistake here. Let me take a look. And for me, okay, so the steam came in on Drexel, moved from a pick'em up here right now to Drexel minus. Drexel -1 here right now at Bovada, but still a pick'em pretty much everywhere else. The total here at 129. Give me the over. I know these teams are kind of under teams here right now, but in this one, in the Coastal here, I'm going over with Elon and Drexel. I've got a play here on the morning steam with the over between Elon and Drexel. Here is a tournament game getting steamed right now with Maryland, Baltimore County, and Bryant. The steam is coming in on the under in this one with Maryland, Baltimore County, and Bryant. Bochum has just scored. This game is 2-2 with Bayern Munich right now. What a game here. Okay. Steam came in right now on this one, Maryland, Baltimore County, and Bryant. We already said the steam came in on Bryant from 13 to 14. Now the steam's come in on the under here from 165.5 down to 164.5. Steam to the under. We'll say those teams kind of trend over a little bit, but steam coming in on the under there. Also, just moments ago, California here, we did get the word that California, we're seeing the steam here on the under. California forward Ola Joseph, he is questionable in this game, but so steam to the under here. It was 145. We're all the way down to 143, it looks like, with California and Notre Dame. All right. Also, Oklahoma and Texas steam to the over, and why not? You'd think
Final.
Oklahoma and Texas. There's been some overs with those teams this season. Steam to the over here. It was 154 up to 155 with OU and Texas. Also, steam in another tournament game here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not a tournament game, but think we're all caught up actually. Let me get to our coverage now of Big South action. Oh, we got some more comments here coming in. Oh, Cash Kane FDU, Robert FDU.
Steam. play.
Nuke is on, Drexel. Great. All right. Liberty and Western Kentucky just got steamed here right now in this one. It was 143 down to 142 here, Liberty and Western Kentucky. You could see an under there, right, with those two teams. They've had a couple of unders this year, talking about Liberty and Western Kentucky steam to the under. Also, here's some tournament steam that definitely came in. You guys someone mentioned High Point in the chat, and High Point just got steamed in their matchup today. Here, we're going to it right now. Let's do it. There it is, High Point. That line's wrong. High Point just got steamed. This one goes off at 9 Eastern and noon. I'm sorry, noon Eastern and 9 Pacific time right now. This one has moved dramatically with High Point is up to a 10-point favorite. Are you kidding me? High Point is a 10-point favorite? No chance. I'm never doing it.
Steam play.
I've got to update this one. Are you kidding me? This is 10? You know I'm on I picked Radford to win the tournament.
Steam play.
Now look, I think High Point is great. They've had an incredible season, but there's just no way they're going to cover 10. This thing opened 6.5 at some books. It opened 8.5 at the books that were slow to post. But, man, it's up to 10 here right now, and the total 141. Please give me Radford. No way. Radford's got a decent team here. They're going to be able to hang in this one. Look, I've got them to win this tournament. I'm going to need an upset here, but this is the game I was pointing to. Feels like it should be a premium, but I didn't know it was going to be 10 by the time I got to this point of the show. Where did I miss that? I got to go with Radford. I got to go with Radford. Look, you look at some of these stats from these two teams. Radford's 20 and 12 this year. They come in with 3 straight wins here, including a tournament win over Presbyterian, 74-69, covering the spread. High Point did beat Gardner-Webb by 21 points. It's a 15.5-point favorite. High Point's covered 8 of the last 10 games, but Radford's a good cover too. They're 17 and 12 against the spread. So I've got to take Radford here in this one in the matchup against High Point today. Let me know what you guys think of this one. I kind of like the over too. I'll probably just bet it. I don't think I'm going to necessarily play it, but go to the chat here real quick and see what you have in this one, if anything. And we're almost done here with our tournaments. I know there's a lot of college basketball, but please consider subscribing to my package at Winnable, where I'll be sending out plays here momentarily. As soon as we get off the air, I'll finalize the card and send it out. Zoe's on the over there as well. And Terrell's going to take me to the stratosphere of Radford. All they have to do is cover. How about that? I thought he was going to say if Radford wins, I'd need him to win just to get him a dinner. Not that Terrell's not a very generous man, but I'm sure he is. Sure he would take me even if they didn't cover, but okay. Nuke, great call there. You got to look at those conference numbers here. All right. That's it on that one. I'm taking Radford. I gotta take Radford. I'm on a free. I should just bet High Point for like $25. I already got a free meal coming if Radford covers. Thank you, Terrell. It's very thoughtful. Okay, let's go to the next one here with Winthrop and Asheville. Man, the Big South is fun, isn't it? This one at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific time here with Asheville against Winthrop. Right now, it is Winthrop 1.5, 164.5. Total's gone down here a little bit right now. in this matchup on that widely reported steam that we reported a short time ago, but it went down right from 166 down to 164 here. Asheville's the number 2 seed. They're 21-10. Winthrop is 22-10. Winthrop's on a 4-game win and cover streak right now. Coming into this one for Asheville, they actually won. They had lost their final 2 games, remember, of the regular season to this Winthrop team and to Presby. The season finale, Winthrop won 103-90 as a 4.5-point favorite over Asheville. The first meeting was won by Asheville 93-84 at home as a 1-point favorite. Winthrop has been a pretty good cover over the last 10 games, 8-2 against the spread. Asheville's a pretty good cover too. Both teams were profitable this season. Let's go to the chat here maybe a little bit in this one. Between Asheville and Winthrop. Let's see what you guys have. This is our last game we're previewing here. I'd like to go longer, but here, hedge of the dinner. Hedge of the dinner. Why not? Okay, here we go. Asheville for James Parham. Asheville for Kiadra. Zoe says they certainly look good in that game. Yesterday did Asheville. We had them on the show yesterday over Charleston Southern, and we went under. We said, they always go under in the games with Charleston Southern, and indeed that was the case yesterday as Asheville got that impressive win and cover, covering 6 points and an 80-60 victory. All right. So let's see here what you guys might do in this one, and that might be it from you guys. So give me the under here in this one with Winthrop and North Carolina. Asheville, I'll take the under. That's it, you guys, for college basketball. I hope that's okay. I know there's a ton of great games. If you want to get more plays from me, please consider subscribing over at winnable.com, and I'll have more packages all day long here. Probably still got a good feels like 15 or 20 plays in me on this card today, so please check me out over there at winnable.com. Just moments ago, the New York Islanders took the steam in their matchup with the San Jose Sharks. The Islanders were a $1.75 favorite. They're up to a $1.85 here right now. Could even go a little higher. The Islanders taking the steam against the Sharks tonight. All right, great, Thomas. There are plenty of games to look at, but we just got into the conference tournaments. Remember, all the conferences, I think, are, like I said, Duke and Clemson, the ACC, fair enough. Could have previewed that one and said, hey, these two teams still battling for the regular season championship. But, again, both teams favored heavy. We know, look, Auburn's already done their conference tournament title. We know the Big 12 has already been decided with Houston, right? So I think everything is in the books here, right? We know the Michigan State championship as well. So we're in conference tournaments. Let these guys finish out what's their motivation type of thing, right? So let's go to the NBA. Thank you, everybody, for a great college basketball regular season. We've got more to go tomorrow, but really we're getting down to tournament time here. It's going to be a fun month, exciting times. Okay, NBA. We've even skipped 2 games today on the NBA card because they're just not very good games. All right, thank you, Zoe, for that information there. And we're going to try to finish this up in the next 30 or 40 minutes and get these cards out there and get ready for a great day, including our big action tonight with the UFC here on the Sports Money Network. All right, we're skipping the first game between the Nets and the Hornets, thankfully. I tell you, that was great. You guys have made the right call there. I was so rushed to get to the college basketball portion on those other days. Now I feel like the show's almost half over because I love the college right now, and I'm kind of starting to heat up here. Hopefully again. Let's talk NBA though tonight with the Pelicans on the road. Got to talk about Houston. The way things are going for them right now. Feels like I want to include uh, them in here. They're favored here by 8, and the total 229.5. Houston's coming off of a win last time out. They knocked off the New Orleans Pelicans 109-97 at New Orleans. So they're coming around and turning around and back here 2 days later in Houston for the return trip in this one tonight. So see what you might do here in this one. For New Orleans, they came in now.
Final.
They failed to cover in 4 straight games. They've lost 2 in a row to the Lakers and to Houston. New Orleans is just 9-23 on the road this season. For Houston here, I mean, you got to take a look at this injury report here. Certainly today with Fred is questionable. He has a chance, though, to make this lineup. Meanwhile, Alvarado is questionable. Brown, he's out. Boston is out for New Orleans. So missing a few spots here. For Houston, they're probably not in their best position. They are 22 and 20 as a favorite. And see if you guys gonna play this one today here. New Orleans and Houston. Great soccer action here. Okay, I'll go to the chat here with you guys and take a look and see what's going on here. Houston's won and covered 4 consecutive meetings between these two teams. And let's see here. Houston at home for Kiadra. Rockets third quarter for Zoe. Ziggy wants to go over here in this one. Thomas going to take the Pelicans in this one. New Orleans has gone over in 7 of their last 8 road games coming into this one. The two teams here, though, have gone under in 4 of their last 5 meetings at Houston. These division rivals, Houston's actually gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, and also under in 4 of their last 5 games at home here for the Houston Rockets. So you have the Pelicans kind of going over, Houston kind of going under. Pelicans 28-19 to the over as a dog. That kind of feels like the more important number for me here, but let's see if anybody in the chat can change my mind here a little bit. All right, all right. I think that's gonna do it here in this one for New Orleans and Houston, and I gotta go over here in this one. Give me the over with New Orleans and Houston. All right, we had some steam rolling in here right now, some more college games, so let's go back to the colleges. Can't get away from it. Mississippi and Ole Miss getting steamed here to the over right now in this one. It was 157, now up to 158, 158.5. Steam to the over here. Ole Miss and Florida, 6 Eastern and noon Pacific. Word is Elijah Martin has had that shoulder problem for Florida, and he is in here right now. So here comes the move on the over with Martin in there today. Also, New Mexico State and Sam Houston getting steamed here right now to the over with New Mexico and Sam. It was 137. We're up to 138, maybe even 138.5 here right now. Steamed to the over with New Mexico and Sam Houston's today. Sam Houston. Also, moments ago here, information coming in here right now that Giannis is hitting the injured list here in this one. We see that Giannis right now is going to be questionable for tonight's game against Orlando. We already saw that information come in on that Steam to Orlando. Maybe the word had already gotten out there because right now, here's a huge move. We already said it had gone from 7 to 6. Now it's down to 5. 4.5 right now at some of the books. Giannis looks like he's questionable, but it doesn't look good tonight for Giannis to make this lineup for the Milwaukee Bucks. And the line is totally shifting here right now to Orlando, all the way down to 4.5. All right. That's what we do here on the Morning Steam Show. Keep you abreast on the latest news and information. Ohio State and Indiana getting steamed here to the under. Just moments ago, it was 148 down to 147 here in this one with Ohio State and Indiana. I tell you what, I'm going to take a peek at this. I might make a pick here right now because we didn't preview all the games here, and this isn't the greatest game. It's a nice game. And I think I have a pick, though. Let me just check my notes and see if I can give this out here. It might have been making the service today. So let me just do it right here, right now. In fact, I've got a double play for you here. I like that Steam to the under. It just came in, looks very solid. I like also Indiana here. This is a double play for me. Give me Indiana minus these points and the under in the game against Ohio State. Last Saturday when we did it, we hit 4 out of 5 double plays. So give me this one. Give me Indiana here in this matchup and the under in the game against Ohio State. Right now, the line here is Indiana minus 2.5 and the total 147. And we'll continue on. Oh, we got maybe just a couple more here real quick in the college game with some steam that came in. Florida International and Middle Tennessee State. Steam to the over right now in this one with Florida International and Middle Tennessee. It was 143. It's up to 144, and we've got a goal for Bochum right now. We're going to have a big upset here in Germany. 20 minutes to go. Bochum 3, Bayern Munich 2. Big upset possibly here in Germany. Arizona and Kansas, we're seeing some steam to the over here right now in this one with Arizona and Kansas. It was 153. We're up to 154 right now with the steam coming in between Arizona and Kansas today. Right now, the line in the game is Kansas minus 4.5. Kansas has been on the move here a little bit today. And gotta tell you, I kind of like Kansas in that game with that steam moving. Maybe the value's gone, but give me Kansas in this game today on the Morning Steam Show. I'm going to give out some more college games, man. I want to talk more college ball here. And man, that steam to the over does look good. And let's do it. Let's follow through with it. Let's go Kansas and over in that game at Allen Fieldhouse. I've got another double play. I'm remembering when we hit those, and I want to do a few today with this big card. Kansas and over. I owe you guys since we only did those tournament games. Okay, here we go. We got 60 of you in here on a Saturday. Appreciate that. Oh, also, Houston was a consensus play from the chat, says Thomas there. We did have some folks on them, even though Thomas was on New Orleans. Kiadra was on Houston. And who else was on Houston? Okay. Maybe that was it, but I don't want you to force it, Thomas. But look, I don't mind. I actually don't mind Houston either. It might have made my card. But let's continue on here right now and get through these games with the Pacers and the Hawks. In this one, they'll go at it again here tonight with the Pacers and the Hawks. Teams, of course, just met the other night, and it was 124 to 118. Guess what? It went over again in that matchup. What does that mean? This game has continued to be a massive over when these two teams meet for the last several seasons right now. These two teams, every time we skip the Wizards and the Raptors, by the way. This one continues to be a massive over when these two teams face off against one another, and they went over again last time for the fourth straight meeting between Indiana and Atlanta. Indiana also kind of dominates the series as well. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams, including that game here was at Atlanta. Both these games are at Atlanta this week. Atlanta actually has won 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams here in Atlanta, but Indiana's won 5 of the last 6 games overall. 18 of the last 22 meetings have gone over between these two teams. 10 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams here in Atlanta have gone over. The widely reported steam came in on the under in this game, so the Sharps are thinking they're going to get a little cute here with this one, figuring they played the other night, the number's high, we love to just go under any big number automatically. The public is a 95% over in that one. I heard Mikey say it yesterday, and it's funny what Mikey, if you're out there, what you said, because one of my key points in every handicap that I make is the 95% rule. And it really is a kind of a rarity that I'll ever go with a 90. Now, a free play on the show, I may end up going over here on this one just because of those incredible statistics. But it probably wouldn't make my premium card because of that. It looks like 95% of the action here currently on the over between these two teams. And, why not? I mean, like I said, the public's going to be slamming the over in this one, I guess, because of those high numbers here. 244.5. It probably should be 250, quite honestly here. But I know the Sharps are all over the under here. I just don't know if I can do it given the specific trends with these two teams. Let's go to the chat and see what we've got here in this one. It's going to be Thomas here on the Hawks, okay. And Ziggy is liking the over as well. Atlanta here for Kiadra. And Zoe likes the Hawks. Irish King likes Atlanta. And Thomas says he's seen enough. He says Atlanta is a consensus play here in this one against Indiana. Okay, I hear you. Indiana there for the Team Steam consensus. I will just mention here real quick, like I said, Indiana's kind of gotten the better of them in the last few games in this series. Actually, Atlanta's won 2 of the last 3, but beyond that, I said 5 of the last. Yeah, it is 5 of the last 6. I'm sorry, 5 of the last 6. Okay, and Zoe mentioning maybe a little bit about the injury report there, and I think there is some significant talk in this one. You've got Hallie questionable, you got Matterin questionable here in this one for the Hawks. You got Terrence Mann questionable, Karis LeVert questionable, and if you're old like me, you might have listened to LeVert back in the 80s. Any LeVert fans out there, Thomas? Krejci is questionable as well here for Atlanta. All right. I got to make my call here. And yes, even though that steam came in on the under, and I'm sure the Sharps are going to be probably more right off often than not. I just don't know if I can get off this solid overs every time, uh, just like it did the other night at 241, right? Give me the over with Indiana and Orlando. I'll be the square one. Ziggy said sometimes the public wins, so chalk me up with the public tonight. I'll take the over. Zoe remembers a little Levert. Okay, here we go. More in the NBA right now with the Bulls and the Heat. In this one, hey, we scored last night with the Miami Heat game to go under against Minnesota. The Heat got the money in that low scoring game there. The Timberwolves won, but the Heat covered the spread again. And remember what I said about the Heat. I think they're a team that you want to get back on now that they can get down to the business at hand without Butler. They're always going to have their, good coaching and everything. They're still 4 games under 500, so they've got a lot of work to do. They've got to step on it here. They've lost 2 in a row, but again, they covered the spread in that last game. They've covered the spread in several games in a row right now. They're hot in covering the spread. Even though they've lost 3 out of their last 4, they've been covering the number in all those games. They've covered 5 straight overall. They've covered 5 straight at home. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Chicago's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. Coming into this one for Miami here, that streak. I'm showing 6 straight covers, but the notes over here say 5 straight, but my records say 6 straight. Maybe that one was close there, but Chicago has failed to. They've lost 8 straight games coming in off of a win. Chicago beat Orlando 125-123 as an 8-point dog on the road to snap a 2-game losing streak. Like I said, I love what the Heat is doing here, getting back to work right now, it feels like, although they're laying the number here today. Certainly something to consider. All right, go to the chat here in this one, see what you've got to say tonight when the Chicago Bulls take on the Miami Heat in this one. Chicago just 2-9 straight up in their last 11 games as an underdog. And they've gone just 7-18 against the spread in their last 25 games overall. But that's a stark 17-8, 7-18 straight up in their last 25 games overall. But 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. Let's go to the chat here in this one. Bulls and Heat. Bulls in Heat. Can I say that? Can I say that in the Sports Money Network? All right, here we go. Let's see, we got Thomas on Miami money line. Here's Ziggy on Miami money line. And Zoe says that's how we roll there with Levert. And you guys are going all off on me now. All I got to do is okay, so we can't fade the Heat the way they're taking care of business. Can they take care of business here as a favorite, though, in this one? I think that's where I'm wondering here, but how can I not talk up a story and then not go with the Miami Heat? Yeah, they're favored. They got to cover the number here, but the Bulls, like I said, yes, long term, maybe covering here a little bit, but they lost. They didn't cover against Cleveland. They didn't cover against Indiana as underdogs. I know they got that money against Chicago there, against Orlando there. But I'm going to go with the Heat today in this one. Lay those points here. It's 4.5 now too. So I'll go with it. And this total, I mean, come on. I get it here. Maybe the Bulls have had some overs, but they're 28-20 in the overs and underdog. Miami's an over 18-10 to the over at home. I don't know if this game's going over, you guys. All right, 4.5 and 226. You see the move is a little bit to the under here, and give me the Heat in this one. All right. Bulls first half for Kiadra. Heat against the spread for Ziggy. All right, that might be it from you guys there. Let's get to the next one here. We're almost done with the NBA. Okay, so here we have the big news. Giannis doesn't look like he's going to make the lineup to me. I mean, the way this is kind of going right now. I mean, down to I'll call it 4.5 here, and the total is down to even 216.5 here at a few places. 217, 216.5 here right now. Let's let some of this uh, steam catch up here a little bit. All right, we got the Magic and the Bucks, so you're gonna have to tackle this one. What do you think about Giannis? Can he make this lineup? Orlando's on a losing streak once again. They're kind of fading here a little bit right now. The Bucks are on a winning streak for sure. Coming into this one, they've won and covered 4 straight. Orlando, not only are they not winning, they're not covering here. It's been bad for sure for the Magic here right now. They're in a tailspin. They're 9-17 against the spread as an underdog this season. Not a great roll for them at all here, but well, the news is out. So can they do it? Is what you got to wonder here today with Orlando. I mean, I kind of want them here. I know we're not getting the right points or anything anymore, but here we go. Thomas is on Orlando. Zoe says take the Bucks first half. Irish King says I'm still good with the Bucks first quarter and first half. Sans Giannis. Like I said, we don't know he's totally out. He might be able to make this lineup, but the way the news has come out and the line has moved here, to me, I do not feel confident tonight. All right. Other news for Milwaukee. Nance is out. Connaughton is out. Trent is doubtful here in this one. Jalen Suggs still out for Orlando. And he did it again. Okay, we got a little bit of breaking news here. If you got your ESPN app, I'm going to have to go to the breaking news wire on this one. All right, ESPN reporting just moments ago that Chiefs young star Xavier Worthy, the 21-year-old, has been arrested on a charge of assault of a family or house member, impeding the breathing or circulation. Basically, sounds like he was choking someone. He was booked into jail on Friday night in the Williamson Sheriff's Office in Williamson County, Texas. They didn't have any records of it, but the Chiefs were aware of Worthy's arrest from last night. And in Texas, impeding his family member's breathing or circulation is a third-degree felony punishable by 2 to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. So that just in, Worthy arrested last night for a domestic violence charge. There, the young star of the Chiefs. What is it with these Chiefs? The fast play. I don't want to group them all together. That's unfair, but disturbing news there, certainly from the NFL. All right. Don't need that this morning. All right. Let's keep it going, though, here, right? Let's go back to the games, shall we, here with the Magic and the Bucks. So, look, the Magic are a little bit broken here right now, but I'm going to go ahead and take him here in this one. I expect Giannis to be out of this game. So give me the Magic here in this one. All right. Pistons and Warriors here. Well, the Pistons couldn't sustain it all the way the rest of the season, but hey, let's still keep an eye on these guys with Pistons. Yeah, they got blown out by the Clippers last time out, 123-115 to kind of end that
Final.
special run that they were on for the most part. But come on, can they hang in here against these Warriors, these hot Warriors right now, winners of 3 straight. Feels like the Warriors are back in a groove. They've got their new lineup and they're feeling good
Steam play.
here right now. The Warriors are favored by 6.5. The total 236.5. Big move here on some widely reported steam to the over here today, moving this total here higher in this one between the Pistons and the Warriors tonight. For Detroit, they've won 5 of their last 6 on the road and covered in those 5 games, but Golden State's went 8-1 in their last 9 games at home, going 5-1 against the spread at home here of late. Still, the Warriors just 14-15 against the spread at home overall. Meanwhile, Detroit 20-11 against the spread on the road, 22-14 against the spread as an underdog. Even before they were on that hot streak, they were still a pretty decent cover, it felt like, game after game, giving you a chance. Now, Detroit has gone over in 13 of their last 17 road games as an underdog, and maybe that's why we've seen such a push to the over in this game. These guys aren't massive over teams, although Golden State is 21-18 to the over at home, and Detroit 19-17 to the over as a dog. Anyways, Golden State has gone 5-0 against the spread. Their last 5 games as a home favorite, and Golden State here comes in as, what did I say, 6.5? Maybe down to 6 here right now. Maybe a little bit of a move to the Pistons. Let's go to the chat. Can the Pistons keep it up, or was that just I don't want to say a fluky streak, and I don't know if we're running into a real, where are we putting the Warriors, I guess, at this point? Can we put them up there right now with teams like the Nuggets, like the Lakers in the Western Conference here right now? Who else is going to put in that group in the West? Oh, besides Oklahoma City. Oops, forgot about Oklahoma City. But you got to consider those other teams in there too. Oklahoma City's still going to be relatively inexperienced when it comes to playing those teams in the postseason. Pajemski's questionable in this game. Kuminga is out of this game. For Detroit, Tobias Harris is probable. Let's go to the chat. And let's see here. Ziggy, I think, is going to start us off. He says Pistons. And Thomas says, is Kuminga playing? Kuminga out. Zoe says maybe under here in this one with Pistons and the Warriors. I'll go to my pick here in this one. And make sure I get it right here.
Steam play.
Uh-oh. The Rangers are getting steamed. The New York Rangers in their matchup against Ottawa, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. The Rangers just took some steam.
Final.
And right now, they were a plus 115 dog, but right now we're seeing the steam to the Rangers. They might go down to even here. Ottawa minus $1.15 now only. The steam is on the Rangers here this morning. That game coming up here in about an hour and a half. All right, guess I'm ready to roll here in this one right now with the Warriors and the Pistons. Give me the Detroit Pistons here in this one. I got to take the Pistons. Come on. They're going to keep it going. Irish King, Warriors first quarter and first half. Thomas is on Detroit. So he says the Pistons, a little bit of rest now. Haven't played in a couple of days since that loss to the Clippers. Warriors have won 3 straight. They beat Denver, they beat the Nets last time out. Kiadra on Detroit. And Thomas says Detroit's a consensus play. Oh man, if I'd have known that, I might have pivoted to the total here in this one. Okay, let's go to the last NBA game. Then we'll go to hockey. We'll get out of here and have a great day. Lakers and Celtics. Oh, doesn't get much better than this right now anyway, with the Lakers going to be a underdog here at Boston tonight, 7.5, 227.5. Now, you're probably wondering where does Boston stack up currently in this type of situation, and will we see those same trends a little bit? Nasty Nate. The Lakers come in with this great winning streak here right now, but Boston's won 3 in a row as well here. And if anything, it does feel like it probably should be a little bit lower. So you have to wonder about the personnel of the Lakers, who's in, who's out today. I'm not worried about LeBron getting in Stephen A. Smith's face the other night, telling him don't pick on his children. He's a good daddy and all that. But does feel like the Boston spread is a little bit high given what maybe some of the send-out numbers were. But once they announced that Jaylen Brown was going to be back in the lineup here tonight and was probable, then we saw the line kind of go back up. Hauser is questionable. KP is questionable. Holiday is out. Big Al is probable. Derek White is probable, but those guys are on the injury report for the Lakers here. Jackson Hayes, questionable. Hachimura still going to be out of this game. And let's see what you guys like in this one with the Lakers and Boston here. Lakers have won 8 straight games right now. They've gone 13-3 against the spread in their last 16, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8. With Luka here for Boston, they're 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games. So awesome game here tonight to wrap us up on Saturday night for the NBA. Lakers won the first meeting 117-96 back on January 23rd as a 6.5-point underdog in that game. So look, the Lakers are the better spread team for sure. The Lakers are 35-25 against the spread, 15-9 against the spread as an underdog. Boston just 14-18 against the spread at home, 27-31 against the spread as a favorite. And where does the current Boston trends of favored after a win, on the road after a loss, at home when they cover, where do they stand in this one? Well, Boston's failed to cover the spread in 26 of their last 34 games when they're favored and coming off of a win. So does that kind of favor the Lakers here in this one? I'd have to think so. Give me the Lakers here, plus the points on the road. Sure, the Lakers are due to get blown out here, but such a high-profile game, and as long as the Stars are in, I'm going to have to take the Lakers here. I think the line is probably about 2 points too high for sure right now, but we'll go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this one, and we're going to start it off with Ziggy on the Celtics. Kiadra says, in case Nasty Nate has already fallen asleep, Boston, quarter 2. Thomas says Boston. Zoe went with Detroit. Zoe also goes with Lakers first quarter, Boston second quarter. And Thomas says it's going to be Boston time here. They're going to be serious. Ziggy says the public is heavy on the Lakers here tonight. Right now, I'm showing almost 3/4 of the action coming in on the Lakers here. Great point here by Zoe. Wow. That's going to do it for this one. That's going to do it for the NBA. I'm going to have a premium tonight for sure in that Lakers game on the total. So let me go to the NBA. I've got the NHL. We've got to knock off about 10 games in less than a half an hour here, it feels like. So let's go. They might be just picks in the NHL tonight, and I'm sure that you guys will be okay with that. Let's start it off in the game we just talked about with the Rangers taking on the Senators. Here in this one, you've got the Senators favored $1.30, 5.5 over 25. We just mentioned the move that came in on the Rangers. The Rangers got steamed here just a short time ago, moving this line for sure here, current line in this game.
Final.
Now at 120 for the most part. It feels like it's some of the sharp books, maybe still a little bit higher, but the action apparently came in on the Rangers, is what they're telling me here.
Final.
Rangers have won 2 of their last 3, although they lost last time out against the Caps 3-2. 3 nights ago, so a little bit of time off here. Meanwhile, Ottawa also played 3 nights ago. They beat Chicago 4-3 coming in. So let's see if you guys have a play here. Like I said, we're going to probably go fast here on the hockey tonight. That's probably what we should be going fast on. All right, this one starts at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific time. I like the under here in this one at the Rangers and Ottawa tonight. I know that for the most part, you look at some of the trends with these two teams. Ottawa's gone over in 10 of their last 11 games, including 4 of the last 5 at home. The Rangers have gone over in 6 of their last 7 games, but I think the total is kind of a giveaway here. In fact, I'm seeing some 5.5s out there right now in this matchup. So I'm going to buck these trends a little bit right now, and I'm going with the under here in this one. I don't know if the over is going to be very popular here. I mean, the Rangers are 17-12 to the over on the road, but they're 6-14 to the under as an underdog. And Ottawa's been a bit of an under team this season, 24-32 to the under, although more so under as a favorite than as a dog. Igor is in there, 2.86 goals against. I think it's going to be Allmark. We're only an hour away from dropping the puck. I've got the under here in this one with the Rangers in Ottawa.
Final.
All right. Irish King went over in that last game. And Zoe talking about it there, right? Look, we make fun of, people want to make fun of Luke or whatever, but I think he's still a great basketball player and can play defense. I don't think there's any problem with the Lakers if they don't have a big man. Yeah, maybe it could end up costing them against some teams. We'll see. Okay, Ziggy's on the over here. We got 4 teams with the contest, Thomas says. Thank you, Thomas. If you need to run, that's okay. Here, let's see, Boston over there, and a little bit of action in that one. Oh, here we go, Irish King on the Rangers. All right, next up, the Kraken are going to take on the Philadelphia Flyers here.
Final.
We used to play Dungeons and Dragons. We called it the Kraken, but somewhere the name changed to the Kraken. And they're on the road here against Philly in this one as an underdog. Kraken have lost 2 straight, and Philly has lost 2 straight coming into this one. Kraken on the road here, lost to Nashville last time out, 5-3. Flyers lost back-to-back home games here to Calgary and to Winnipeg here right now. So, oh man, I don't know. I kind of think that maybe this will be a spot for the Kraken, but it should be noted that the Flyers are an impressive 13-4 straight up as a favorite this season. Seattle, meanwhile, 15-26 as an underdog. So even though the computer is screaming to me over here, Kraken, 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 gonna have to go with the Flyers here in this one. 13-4 against 13-4 straight up as a favorite this season for Philly. This is totally their role. Give me the Flyers here at this reasonable number of $1.45 or so right now. I'll take the Flyers. Ziggy's going over. Next up is the Bruins and the
Final.
Lightning. In this one, you've got the Bruins here on the road, a big underdog to the Lightning. The Lightning are $3, and the total here is 5.5 over at minus $1.20, $1.25. This is the nationally televised Saturday game here with Swayman and Vasilevsky expected in goal here in this one. You got Tampa Bay here. It feels like Boston's lost 3 in a row and looked pretty bad against Nashville in that 6-3 loss. Now they did hang in there against Minnesota,
Final.
lost 1-0. They were an underdog. They lost to Carolina 3-2 last time out. They were a dog, but Tampa Bay's been crushing here, it feels like, of late. Now they did beat Buffalo last time out, just 6-5, but they beat Columbus 6-2. They lost to Florida, remember, in that big game 2-1, but no problem. They were an underdog there, and it was a big a big game, certainly. For Tampa Bay here, I'll take the Lightning on the puck line to blow out the Bruins today in this one. Ziggy says he'll take the Bruins on the other way. Irish Kings with me on Tampa Bay, and Ziggy also went. Oh, I think it was over in that last one. Okay, keep it going here. Want to finish up? Pardon me, game. Been talking for 2.5 hours straight, and Thomas always tells me to take a swig of the Pepsi, but I got to just keep going here right now, unless can't get the words out. Buffalo and those Florida Panthers. Here in this one with the Panthers minus 260. We said the Sabres took that widely reported steam. How about that? With this one moving lower here for sure. I said it'd go down to 240. It has hit 240 at circa, still 260 at some of the square books right now here with Buffalo and Florida. We're into the night card a little bit here right now. See what you have in this one with Buffalo and Florida. You have two teams going in opposite directions right now. Buffalo's on a long losing streak here at this point. Can't find a victory here over the last couple of weeks right now. Buffalo currently coming into this game against Florida has lost 5 straight games. Florida, meanwhile, has won 5 straight and 10 of their last 12, 7 of their last 8 overall. Florida's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, but Buffalo's gone over in 4 of their last 5, 6 of their last 8, and 9 of their last 12 coming into this one. Florida's beaten Buffalo in 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams and 11 of the last 13 games overall. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here in Florida have gone under. Florida won the last meeting 5-2 at Buffalo, but they haven't met since October. They split a couple of games there. Buffalo just 9 and on the puck line. 14-14 on the puck line on the road. 23-13 is a puck line dog. We shall go to the chat to see what you have here in this one. Buffalo and Florida tonight. Take a look at the chat here in this one. Panthers on the puck line. In this one, seems like a bit of a discount here, right, for the Panthers. That steam came in on Buffalo. And look, I mean, you could look at it one way that Florida here with this hot streak, I mean, can they be cooled down? Feels like just overwhelming right now, though, the way the Panthers are going. I got to take the Panthers on a discount on the puck line here in this one. Next up is the Maple Leafs taking on the Avs. Here in this one, you've got the Avalanche, $1.50 over the Leafs. Colorado, 37-24-2. Toronto, 38-21 and 3. Coming into this one, for the Avalanche here, they've won 4 straight games. Coming into this one, covering the puck line each and every time on this homestand. 4 straight home games, 4 straight wins, 4 straight puck lines right now for the Avalanche as they continue to roll here. It feels like right now they've actually won 5 straight at home and covered 5 straight puck lines at home. 5 straight meetings between these two teams here in Colorado have gone over, but Toronto's covered the puck line in 5 straight meetings here at Colorado. So always a tough, close matchup when the two teams meet. But a reasonable price here. Colorado $1.45, total 6.5, under 20 coming into this one. For Colorado here, they've won also 8 of their last 11 games. Toronto's gone over in 5 of their last 7 games overall. 10 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Here in Colorado, 19 of the last 26 meetings between the two teams have gone over as well. 10 straight meetings. 13 straight meetings between the two teams here in Colorado have gone over. Now, they only meet here once a year, but for 13 straight years, it's gone over when Toronto meets Colorado in Colorado. Does that mean anything to you? Let's go to the chat and see what you might do here in this one when Colorado takes on Toronto here tonight.
Steam play.
All right, in the chat, let's see what you got. It's going to be, I think Ziggy's going under. That might be it for you guys. Just letting me have my time here. Give me the Colorado Avalanche. I'll take the Avs tonight in this one at minus $1.50 against the Leafs. I'll keep it moving here right now. Jim went under there. Thank you, Jim. Nice. Thank you, Jim. Thanks for helping out here with the chat all-stars. Here come the Montreal Canadiens, and guess what? They're hot again. They did lose last time out, but remember, they were on a winning streak here for a few games. They lost to Edmonton. It was a good game, just 3-2, and here they are. This is a sneaky good game. You know, I always like to say, oh, here's the game of the night. Here's the game of the night. Now, I know Dallas and Edmonton is probably the game of the night, but with Edmonton pretty much sucking lately, I think this is a game of the night. Hockey night in Canada, Canadians and Flames. Why not? The Canadians come in here, you know, pretty darn hot. Now, Calgary isn't as hot here right now, but they're at home, and that's where they do all their great work. They're 17-10 straight up at home. And even if these teams just meet once a year, anytime the Canadian teams meet, it's a little bit special for the franchises every time. You want to win these games, certainly. Calgary's gone just 3-7 in their last 10 games. Montreal's won 5 of their last 6, coming in 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Coming into this one, you've got the Flames. Man, they're playing well. You know, at home, although they've struggled in these last couple of games, certainly they've lost 4 out of their last 5, including a 3-2 loss to Dallas last time out. They did beat Philadelphia 6-3, but they lost to tough teams on the road: Carolina, Florida, Tampa Bay. This is their first game back from that long road trip. They always say the first game back is the toughest for a home team when coming in off of a road trip. So will that be the case tonight when the Red Hot Canadians come in here to take on the Calgary Flames? Let's go to the chat and see what you might do with this one tonight. And see if there's any way you can get on Montreal here. They've covered the puck line in 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams. Probably not enough money to, too steep to get involved here in this one, but Calgary's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games overall, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Calgary's 7-14 to the under as a favorite, although Montreal's been going a little bit over of late. Let's see what you guys have in the chat here right now with Montreal and Calgary, if anything here. Here is Kiadra on Montreal. Ziggy's on the Flames. Jim says Flames need these wins right now wherever they can get them with their record. Yeah, they do. Montreal, though, they're in the same predicament, I think, right now. I've got to go with the Montreal Canadiens here in this one. I kind of want to go premium, but Calgary's so tough at home. I'll take my Canadiens here on the puck line at plus $1.10 or so. And plus $1.10, maybe even a little better. Let's keep it moving here and get this show over with. Thank you for joining me on the morning steam. Next up, it is the Blues taking on the Kings here with Darcy Kemper in goal. Good matchup here against the Blues. The Kings, you mentioned, the Kings are on a losing streak right now. I get it. But here's the funny thing about it. They're still 19-3 at home. They lost a bunch of games in a row on the road. They played St. Louis in 2 of the last 3 games and lost them both. They lost at St. Louis 4-1. They just played St. Louis the other night. St. Louis has been hanging out here in Southern California. They beat the Kings 3-2 last time out. But the Kings are still 19-3. Okay, they lost one to the Blues. Okay, they're still 19-3 at home. The amazing thing about it is that they've only played 22 home games so far. So if the Kings do keep this up, and maybe they won't keep it totally up, but it does seem like they play very, very strong at home. They are going to continue to move up a little bit in the stand. They're going to play more home games. They should win your home games. You should win most of them, especially in the NHL, right? So I don't think we're seeing the best record that I think the Kings record is going to continue to improve because they're going to play more home games. Now they've got big time revenge here, obviously, in this one against the Blues. It's going to be tough enough just to win this game, it feels like, much less cover a puck line. I'm sure the Blues here, they've always covered the puck line in this game, but even though the Kings lost last game, they had won the previous 4 games against the Blues at home. Blues have won 6 of 7 coming in. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and St. Louis is 17-27 to the under as a favorite. The Kings are 13-20 to the under as a favorite. I'm sorry, Blues 17-27 to the under as a dog is what I meant to say. I think you guys knew that. Kings 13-20 to the under as a favorite. So let's take a look here with this total at 5.5. I don't know if the Kings are going to get any puck lines here necessarily against the Blues. It's just that the Blues, not a great price on the puck line because they have been playing so well, it feels like. Right now, the line here is on the Blues minus $1.65 on that puck line here. Man, these are steep prices. I better just go with the under as my play in this one. Give me the under tonight with the Blues and the Kings. Of course, I'm going under in that one. All right. Hello to MT. Nice to see you again, MT. It's really nice to have you here. Really, I miss you. All right. Jim says, I'm a Flames fan. Don't take Jim, I'm a Canadiens fan, but I think I was going with my handicapping there in that one. Whether or not it's right or wrong. Appreciate that, Flames fan. And Ziggy's going with the under, and so is Juan, the Dark Knight Padilla, here today. Hi, Juan. Nice to see you. We got to get a few more done here and end the show. We got the Blackhawks taking on the Preds here in this one. Predators, big favorite here. They're up to 275 here right now. Total 6.5 under at minus 120. Who wants to trust Nashville at this point? The Blackhawks have
Critical
covered the
notice.
puck line in 5 of their last 6 games overall, although Nashville has won 9 of the last 10 meetings overall here between these two still. Chicago, maybe here, I heard some people making fun here, maybe of Spencer Knight, and hey, I got Soderblom in there anyways, but let me take a look here at some of the numbers. We're seeing some of the confirmed goalies in here, but maybe not on these late games just yet. Let me go through a few confirmed goalies here real quick. We said Igor, Seattle and Philly, Grubauer and Urson in there. Vanasek is in there for Florida today. We haven't seen much of Vanasek. He's got a terrible record, 3-10-3 here, and Luukkonen's in there. 2 teams going in opposite directions, but Florida going with the backup today. Dobes is in there for Montreal today, and I think that's it for the confirmed goalies here. All right, increase of price here for Nashville, and I know that we would have skipped this game if Mikey doesn't have all his futures bets tied into the Nashville Predators. I'm half kidding, but Blackhawks here on a roll, covered 4 straight puck line. They're actually won 3 of the last 4 games overall. I'm taking the Blackhawks here on the puck line against the Predators here tonight. Ziggy's going under. We're almost done here. Let's get the show done. Islanders and Sharks. Islanders on the road, $1.65 here. This has been the Islanders got steamed, but right now the price is all the way down here to $1.65 here in this one, and the total is 6. For the most part, maybe juiced to the over a little bit. The Islanders have won 3 of their last 4 games coming in, but the Sharks have won 2 of 3. They got blown out by Colorado last time out. For the Sharks here coming into this one, maybe the price is a little bit on the cheap here. It does feel like for the Islanders for me. The steam came in on the Islanders. San Jose's lost 8 of their last 10. Islanders have won 4 of the last 5 meetings here between the 2 teams. I'm going to take the Islanders here in this one. I think I've got a discount at this point of about 20 cents, even though that steam came in. I'm going with the Isles here in this one. The Isles won the first meeting 4-1 at home. So give me New York here in this one. New York's 13-13 on the road. Islanders and the Sharks are just 9-18 at home, of course. So the Sharks have done a nice job against the puck line, but they're a pretty steep puck line price here, actually. I don't want to take the Sharks at minus $1.70 on the puck line. No way. So give me the Islanders here tonight. Ziggy's on the Islanders with me. One more game, and we're out of here. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. It's the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. We talked about Edmonton's struggles here right now. They're still 36-22, and now they've won 2 of their last 3 games. It's just that the Stars come in here right now with a 4-game winning streak coming in, but Edmonton still has dropped 6 of their last 8, but they've won 2 of their last 3. Dallas has won 4 of their last 5, 7 of their last 8, 12 of their last 15, and 21 of their last 28 games. Overall, right now, at Dallas won the only other meeting between the 2 teams so far this season. Back in the first month of the season, 4-1. Dallas won at home here. I think Edmonton starting to wake up a little bit. I think we're getting a really cheap price here on Edmonton, even if it is $1.10, $1.15. Man, I want to take Edmonton big time in this game. I might have to look at the total here. I might have to save Edmonton. They look like a really nice price to me here in this one. And look, Dallas, maybe this isn't the spot where they get an under, right? We think of Dallas and all these unders this season, but we know all of a sudden right now they've been trucking on the over big time, over in 11 of their last 13 games, 8 of their last 9 overall, 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. I've got to take the over here tonight with Dallas and Edmonton. That's the morning steam, everybody. Thank you so much for a great show. I had a great time. Let's do the drawing. Type something in the chat, and we are going to go with the drawing. Make sure you want my plays. Hope you do. Go over to winnable.com. I'm going to have some college basketball coming out shortly. Also, get my UFC card tonight. For tonight's action, UFC 313. I got all my picks already loaded up for just $3 over at winnable.com. You can get month plays for $19.95, just 50 cents a day when you use the promo code STEAM and save 20%. Let's do the drawing. Thank you so much, everybody. I really had a great time with you today. I told, who was it on X? Oh, Noli sent out a message reaching out to me, and Noli's given us all those winners this week. Missed him today, but the thing about it, when he said, I was doing a great job or whatever. Noli's so smooth on camera. I wish I could be like Noli on camera, it feels like. But hey, everyone, go ahead and type in the chat. Let's get you guys involved here with the drawing real quick and see who wins. But Noli reached out and said that, and then I'm like, boy, Noli, I didn't realize that, this show would motivate me just to wake up in the morning, man. I don't know where I'd be without you guys in the chat visiting me every day. So, all right, let's go. The drawing is underway. I've hit the button already. Who's going to win? I've screwed it up here, you guys. There we go. Let's see who's got it. It's Irish King. Of course it is Irish King. Thank you, Irish King. You win the drawing today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on the show. We got to get out of here. That's it for the morning steam. Don't forget, tonight, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Let's call it 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific when the guys hit the air for UFC 313. Go to the post tab, and underneath the post tab is our playbook. All the guys have all their plays. They told me there's 43 plays in there right now for UFC. If you don't want my plays for $3, and why would you when you got these experts that we have here on the Sports Money Network? Yeah, get my plays in there too. Use them and support me. Support me here on the channel. Click that QR code up there. Subscribe to my plays. It's 50 cents. If this show is worth 50 cents a day to you, then click that QR code and subscribe to my plays for 1 month. Not only will you support me here on the channel, keep coming back, you're going to get some plays from me every day on your phone.
Final.
You can set the notifications. You can get the plays direct to your phone, and I really appreciate it. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. I love you guys, man. I'm really happy that you're all able to join me here. Irish King, you're going to, if a 4-teamer hits that Thomas listed, if these 4 teams, let me see if I can get it real quick, Irish King. If these 4 plays right there hit, you're going to win tonight. I just sent Johnny Walker, I'm trying to anyway, Johnny, if you're out there, I just sent Johnny Walker like $16. I'll probably throw in another couple dollars in there. He won. I think I threw in, if we had only like 300 views for that show. That was after the show, and well, he only hit a 2-teamer at 5-2, which really would only be about $5. But I'm going to send him I'm going to send him some extra money for sure. He's so awesome, and really appreciate it, everybody. Thanks a lot. That's it for the morning steam. Get previews from the guys right now underneath the videos. Go look at First Strike, our preview for UFC, and also VB MMA Pick Show with me right there, looking all proud with my Sports Money shirt and logo there. And we have a previews for the fights tonight. And don't forget to check out the guys. All right, that's going to do it here on the Morning Steam. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, and for the Sports Money Network.
We make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. Ramon Scott, sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.